Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today my husband and I are working on another DIY. We are at Menards and we are looking for very thin, small pieces of wood slat. I believe we got the 1x2 in sizes. I'll put it in the description box. I'm not 1000% sure. They were reasonable in price and we were looking for like the nicest ones that had like just not a lot of blemishes or major gouges in it. So we were just kind of digging through, grabbing a few so we could begin our project. He thought it was important that they were thick enough that they would definitely make a contrast, bold look against the wall. But I also thought it was important that they were skinny enough that it didn't look like board and batten. So we just really wanted to do an authentic wood wall that was, you know, geometric and fun, and we really had fun making this project. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. We've got all of our supplies from Menards. We got 17 items, we got 16 boards, and we only spent $48.27, and that's including tax. So this is a relatively lower in cost project, and it will really experience something. The first thing I did was kind of like clear some space, and the first step you want to do is measure your wall. Going across, the width is about 12 feet on this wall, and then I'm going to measure vertically, and then I need to basically figure out where my first few from ceiling to floor wall panels should go. So I'll just start with the measurements. Okay, so I started off with just placing the wood against the wall to give myself an idea how far I like it. It separated in width, like each slab I really wanted to do 4. At first I was going to do herringbone, but like we just had difficulties with making all of our angle cuts, so I decided to just kind of do them free floating and have a geometric wall that really was just fun, lively, bright colors for a toddler's bedroom. Our height of our wood slabs were literally almost the exact height of our wall. So all we have to do at this point is basically trim the bottom edge of the wood slat right by the baseboard to make them fit flush. Okay, so at this point, I just have like a piece of wood and I'm just measuring out, trying to get an idea of exactly how I want my design to be. To me, it's easier if you use painter's tape because you can practice drawing it out on the wall before you commit to anything, i.e. if you use like a grade glue or if you're going to use a nail gun. But the tape really helps me because I'm a visual person. At this point, I'm literally just playing with the design because the direction we wanted to go, we weren't really able to go. So I said, well, let's go back to the drawing board and adjust our tape and figure out a pattern that works for us. Like that's the beauty of painter's tape, and I would highly suggest it because you have the ability to change your mind, to see what really works, what's doable, what's not. It is a little bit of a pain, like as far as prepping your wall. I mean, if you just don't have the patience, but to me, it's totally worth it. So I got to make sure that I was in love with the design before we committed to anything. I was trying not to be like too OCD, but like if the line looked uneven, I was like laying those lines down and I was pulling them right back up. But I needed to get an idea of what it looked like leveled so I can get a clear understanding of what my wood was going to look like. So I just kept playing with it till it was absolutely perfect. And I still would place the wood taped to the wall with the level on top still before I used the nail gun to ensure that everything was leveled properly. It's a little bit tedious, but to me it's worth it because then you know your lines are even and in alignment and everything just looks a little bit more flush. And I was happy with my results. I was working on design. He was down there working on this. It's so funny because he like never really used a saw before. So I think this was his first time. So he bought the Ryobi saw, which is a good saw. And, you know, we didn't really have too many problems out of it. So he was just testing it out, doing some strips on plain wood. And then he just really became like flawless at it with the right amount of practice. And we were super happy with how everything turned out. So this is kind of where my husband stops, and then I would just do the side pieces as well as like my angle pieces of wood. Okay, so at this point, I'm basically just like, I use the painter's tape because I want to see it before I put the nail gun nails in. So I was like, you know what, the painter's tape holds up pretty well. I'll do a couple pieces here and there to make sure it's exactly where I want it. And I also checked with the leveler before I put any nails in the wall whatsoever, just to make sure that I was even and that I liked it. And one thing to remember with this project, if you have trouble with your angle cuts, which we did, was to just figure out what you can do and figure out like the pattern that you like. And it can be fun. It doesn't have to be perfect and a lot of pressure. You know, our baby is a toddler. It's a toddler room. She's young. She's free. It's wild. So that's really what the wall like represented to me. It was just having like fun and like just not worrying so much about perfection, but more so focusing on like creativity and neatness. And I really enjoy myself while like just designing everything. This was like legit therapy for me. And the moment we've all been waiting for. I love it. I love how it turned out. I think it's fun and it's freeing and it's toddler approved. I tried to keep the space open for the most part because she plays a lot and it just gives her a lot of room to play and have fun, and it's bright and it really matches her personality. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.